So that's what we must do. Get out there and keep the fight.
One man who has brought energy to our party is Ned Lamont.
Hello, Stanford. Hello, Greenwich. Hey, look, it's good that we're getting together. We tried this 100 days ago. You know, we don't have a lot to celebrate the Democrats in Greenwich. And we all got together around inauguration. It was like a bunch of French resistance fighters at VE Day, sneaking out of the metro and looking around. They hadn't seen the sun in a long time. And, you know, it was the first time since 1964 that a Democrat had run for president out of Greenwich. So we were really proud of that. And we had so much damn fun, we said, let's go to Stanford, let's keep going. And Laura Brad has been leading the charge, and if this works out for 100 days, maybe we'll do the same thing in Harlingen for the 150th day. Like, I am so proud, you know, of our president. I can't believe it's only been 100 days. It's only been 100 days. You know, right now it looks like maybe, just maybe, we're beginning to stabilize the financial system. You know, he's beginning to go after energy and reducing our dependence upon oil. He's really going to deal with health care in a serious way. And I know the Republicans say he's trying to do too much at the same time. Well, look, they were able to drive the country into a ditch, make us more dependent upon foreign oil, and drive up the price of health care at the same time. Surely we can begin to undo it at the same time. Look, I am so proud. I don't know. They sometimes, you remember Jerry Ford? Remember they used to say about Jerry Ford, he can't walk and chew gum at the same time? Remember that? And then Jay Leno or Johnny Carson said, you know what Mrs. Ford uses for birth control? Gives Jerry bubble gum. Look, our president can't walk and chew gum at the same time. Our president can deal with these big issues simultaneously. There's no way we're going to get our country out of the ditch unless we deal with these things. And I've got to tell you something else. We've got a congressman in our state, in our district, I couldn't be more proud of. You know, Jim Hines, he walks and chews gum at the same time. He's got a big family. He's got a beautiful wife. He is someone who I think has a financial background. At the time you want Congress to come in and take a look at our financial markets and stabilize things. He's got a big heart when it comes to what he's done on affordable housing. I couldn't be more proud than to introduce my friend Jim Hines.
Thank you, Ned. And thank you, all of you. I usually leave the part about the financial services background out, just for future and lately. I have an uncomplicated and brief message tonight. It is to do two things. To thank you for what you have done, and to tell you what you must do, and to ask you to do what you must do. And I want to start with thank you. I'm just looking at the army that changed this country. I see a minister, a journalist, a lawyer, a community activist, people who came together to say that our country is far, far better than the country that we were, and we are going to make a change, and you worked hard and you turned history. Congratulations and thank you for what you did. It is the signal honor of my life to have the majority of the people in this district ask me to represent them in the United States Congress at this moment of real peril. The second greatest honor of my life will be to have served side by side and to work with a man of the intelligence, of the humility, of the grace, of the humor, of the humanity of President Barack Obama. I've seen him in action. I've been to the White House a number of times for serious business and also to help celebrate the UConn championship basketball women. And to get to the humor and grace part, after the formal press conference with the national press and his blue suit and everybody all dressed up, he took him to the basketball court and played basketball with the Yukon women on the south lawn of the White House.
How do you do?
They let him win. But folks, you know this because you watch closely, but I come back to the district, and of course Washington's a bubble in a lot of ways. I come back to the district and I see from morning, noon, night, the challenges that we face, people losing their jobs, losing their homes. So sometimes you miss how much has already changed. In Washington, there are people who have dedicated their lives to things like Planned Parenthood, and you need to look into their eyes and see what it means to them that the gag rule was reversed very early in this president's tenure. You need to spend time with the ACLU and people who put the Constitution of the United States at the very center of who we are and the values we espouse, to see the relief that the president and the government now is saying that that is our core strength as Americans. You need to understand what it will mean to 11 million children in this country that we very quickly passed the S-chip program. 11 million children covered now because of the actions of this president. It has already been historic, but of course we are in such a tough moment right now that we have a lot to do. And here is my call to action. We have a lot to do. We have to reform this abomination that we call a healthcare system so that we finally cover all Americans. We have to reform our educational system so that every child, whether that child is born in Greenwich or in Bridgeport, has access to the American dream. And we have to, as you know, get serious about the tough decisions and the work we need to do to finally create a new clean energy economy. The future of the planet depends on it. But I have been in Washington now 3 months, long enough to know that the opposition will fight like mad to prevent each and every one of those things to happen. Not because it's the wrong thing to do, but because that kind of transformation would hand a victory to President Barack Obama and to the Democrats. So on that ground alone, they will fight tooth and nail. They will call us socialists. They will call us Bolsheviks. They will tell us that we are trying to insert the government into all aspects of American life. They will call us traitors, as they have for the last 8 years. They will stop at nothing. And they will generate the kind of anxiety and fear in the American public that they have been doing for the last 8 years. And it won't necessarily be about terrorists. It will be about an out-of-control government. But I am here to tell you, having spent significant time with the leadership and with President Obama, that this is... So folks, I'm asking you to stand up, to explain to people around the country how important it is to do what we must do, particularly around those issues. I, like so many of you, was inspired by President John F. Kennedy, and I think that what we're seeing today is in a sense an echo of the sense of a new generation of leadership that people who were all of our age in 1960 felt. President Kennedy said something, a little lesser known quote that resonates for me right now, and he said, "Pray not that your tasks would match your strengths. Pray that your strengths would match your tasks." And so that's what we must do. Get out there and keep the fight. Thank you very much.